Hello, good evening. My name is Obina Kungidi. Um, I'm talking about school was designed employees. The school, as we came to meet it, was designed to produce and not entrepreneurs, not employers, not business creators. School, as we came to meet it. So I would like to share with you my thoughts on this. And most of us, you know, when we were going to school, or it's still in existence, we produce. You have to go to school to become a doctor, an architect, an engineer. You have to go to school to become a pharmacist, and then a big chunk of others who would enter into the social sciences, the psychology. It was not mainly even by us, you know, former colony. They brought this kind of education that we have. Did not even design it for us to even become employees. They actually designed it for us to become people that they could send, people that could help them to organize their peoples. And then later, they started to produce people who could speak their language. And then Kwame Nkrumah took over. A lot of people have come, and we continue. So, at every point, at every um, introduction, a major catastrophe in history, the school system changes. And so when they introduced the steam engine, a lot of things changed. When they said that the slavery was over, a lot of, when they introduced the telephone, a lot of, when they introduced the internet, a lot of things changed. And what again? Now they were talking of Y2K, a lot of things changed. And then now there's some they call Corona something something. A lot of things are going to change. Um, that's why majority is becomes so difficult, treacherous. If you had certificate and they told you to go and look for, they told you to go. No, why it's like that? But an interaction with a different information exposure, maybe your parents, maybe you came in contact with an uncle who was into business. Most of the population, 90% or more, once they've been to school, the next option is to go and look for, and mainly, it's not just even a job with the private sector. Mainly, it's a job with the with position or multinationals. At least there are different of the world as they are running it today. Much of it, Africa is not included. When they talk of the world as we know it today, the world that has address, that is coordinated, that they give a lot of credit to people on credit card, they buy, they give them mortgage. Africa is not part of that world. Our country, for any country to develop, we have adopted democracy. Democracy will be politics. People can share their ideas. You can't tell somebody to sit down. This kind of world is going to develop. If it's going to develop as we know it, it is going to take serious government and then serious citizens who are, then we can, and that development are the citizens, not foreigners. Not foreigners. If you take China, China is not there's everybody. They sit down, go and they go. Chinese government, if a lot of these Chinese guys that are coming to do business in our country, the government is involved. Whether the government is giving them money or something. A lot of them, maybe not everybody. The government is involved. So the government is the business. Now we say that country, which means that we give people a chance, businesses. But if you look around, if you look around, if you look at our education system, and you look at our results, that side, I think we are doing well with the government side. Maybe with the, at least we change politics, we change party, one party from the other for the last 30 years or so, and we are not killing ourselves. So not bad. But a government that is run not by individuals but by institutions that are set to make sure that the best of their people, I mean, of the economy, sorry, the best of their businesses are maintained or produce or manage their own entrepreneurs. And that will mean anybody, you know, there is an argument, oh, you don't have to go to school to become a business person. But you need a little bit of school because of the language that we use, because of where the world is going. There's a lot of data, there's a lot of information. I think it's far easier if you can read, you can write, you can put some maths together, you can use it, the internet, you can use the telephone, you can communicate, you can sit down with people and negotiate. Important. School will help you, give you some basic tools. But school as it is, through the school as it's been modeled, you will not complete that school and think of starting a business. No. You think of going to get a job. That's the first thing that comes to your mind because of how the school was designed. The school was designed to just produce people who can, you know, come up with some basic tools that industry will need. But what the mindset that it takes, the strength that it takes, the perspective that it takes, the way you have to look at life, the endurance that you have to take, that is not part of our school system as we know it. So they told us that the people who go to start businesses, they don't have to go to school, which is maybe true because school was to produce people who will go and work. Government and business are two components. The private sector, the government, these people, if they work together in develop their country, the country. But you need very strong institutions which are carved out to make sure that their citizens are at the forefront of the creation of jobs and creation of industries. I'm not talking of going to look for government, they give you a big contract, you go and sign something, next time you have big money in your account. No, not that kind of thing. I'm talking of business people who are producing things that the economy needs and who are also creating jobs. The drive is not just to make money, but the drive is also to create prosperity and value, you know, and create needs for the country, for the community. Those kind of people, the school was not designed. And so a lot of our people will become rich just by following government, not because they created a lot of value in the economy. You know, so to develop a school system that will produce entrepreneurs, I'm not sure if the government alone can do that. And I'm not sure if that is even the duty of any government. I think that it is an individual call for that I want to become an entrepreneur. I think it's an individual call. Government can make some policies to help, but technically what government is doing is just to create individuals who could not, they help them to create job for themselves. But people who are driven by vision, who are driven by self, who practice the best of, you know, have to develop a whole new mindset and entrepreneurship when they come through school to start. You know, so today I'm talking about school was not designed. It was not designed at all to create environment. Majority of the people who went to school, when they complete, to go to look for a job, and that is a fact. You could have people waiting for the government to give them job. There are a lot of nurses who have been produced. They are waiting, been at home for the last 3, 4, 5 years. You know, the government started to employ a lot of them. Association saying that they are Unemployed Graduates Association. So they had certificates. They have gone through all these universities, Legon Tech, all these private universities. Why did we have a lot of them in number line to give them job? That itself proves that school does not produce anybody to go and start business, to think to start a business. No, because that's not where the pride is. The pride is not you starting a business. When you complete school, your parents are waiting for you, suit and tie. You have a job. You know, most of that, then you'll be successful. That's why they are proud to show you to the because he is working here. I know. Now, because when Akwasi goes to start a business, because he will not have the support of the family, because in the psyche of the parents or in the psyche of society, first, you don't go to school and come back to struggle. You go to school and the crown of right after school, you are employed and you are given big salary, given big position. Now you know. So that is how the school has. The other day I was debating with a friend, and he said that I said that school does not needed when it came to entrepreneurship. Basic skill of being able to get and understand school. You need to become an entrepreneur and to start a business. That the school is there yet, and the proof is everywhere. Go and sit down, count your mates. How many of them said that after school I was going to start a business? No. All of us were looking. All of us were start a church, something like that. Because you can't give what you don't have. What the school put in you is to finish and come and speak good English. The school is so that when you listen to them talking on radio, you can know this is what the best the school could give us to speak and to challenge and to quote Plato and Shakespeare. That's the English kind of education, the Western kind of education. We're able to debate. But for us to go and solve problems, especially business problem, it's not just every problem. Business problem, business leadership is so much different from other kind of leadership. To start a business, lead it, processes, that one school is very far from it. And it doesn't matter what they went through. Of course, for you to start a business, you need to solve a problem. So what product you can produce, what service you can, what need you can fill in society. The moment you complete school, what need did a lot of us think that we could solve? I don't think we even saw the need. We didn't even understand the business. For you to do a business, you needed to see a need, and you needed to, for most of us, business was like getting a salary. So if I had to take a job and I got salary, just as another person takes a part to start a business to get revenue, that's all. That is the best comparison most of us will give to business. It's not like this is a whole thing that I need a whole different set of skill to enter and to become successful. So the school, as you know it, was geared towards producing a lot of people to come and fill the industry. The current one, the one that maybe we lost that generation, maybe the last 2 weeks. When the corona something hit, we have not seen the depth of it, but it's going to evolve. It's going to show where more don't come to work again. The company, nobody is buying it. Money, because government is going to go through a lot of pressure. If you're lucky, they'll be able to solve start for a lot of them. A lot of African governments are waiting for China to give them. And China, they didn't save a lot of money to give us. Our governments are going to go through a lot of problems. They have to depend on taxes. Now, if the taxes are not there, what will happen? It means that government will not be able to keep a lot of the workers elsewhere. So a lot of them will say, go home. Which means that a lot of us would have to fall which is being able to turn at least even if you don't employ anymore. that shift of mind, you will need to work on a lot of things, because these degrees that you have, these certificates that you have, when you see somebody struggling on the street, when you see the boy selling on the street, you automatically think that you're better than. Interview any graduates who come to do for job. They think that they deserve high, they deserve better. Didn't go to school, because he thinks that he has gone to school, so he deserves better, because school prepared him to come and look for a job, So if you interview an graduate, university graduate, even though he does basic skill, he will still think that he deserves better. Producing, and he may not even bring any value to the business. He may not even pay attention. He may not even solve problems, but he will still think that he deserves better, because for him, he has a certificate. Now that you are going home, now that you have to be on yourself, business, you need a shift. You need a total shift of mind. You cannot depend on the school content, the engineering content, the electrical engineering content that they gave you. You may not be able to depend on it to start the law degree that they gave you. Or the philosophy, the psychology, the accounting that they gave you, the medical certificate that they gave you, the pharmacy that they gave you, the job, even entry point in starting a business. Because for you to start a business, you really have to lower the standard for yourself, and you really have to be somebody who is that much hungry to succeed, and you should be ready to face the society. Maybe when there is that much pressure and everybody pressure, maybe they will not undermine the graduates trying to do something for himself. Maybe from June that they tell us to go back to work, and you go and they listen, go home when it picks. The other day I was reading some article, and most of these companies in this part of the world, they have told them go home when the thing picks. A lot of them. In Ghana is the same. Most businesses are at home now. When we come back, as a matter of fact, most people will even be expecting salary, even when the business is in recess. Because that's it. Because we think that and part of it is because when people finish school, they are entitled. They feel entitled. They feel somebody should take care of them. Most people, once they finish this degree, they feel somebody should give them a hand. Somebody is responsible for their livelihood. That's one of the most dangerous things that school gives. Listen, the other day that the president said that everybody should water something, free water bill for the next 3 months. You see how much people were very happy. People are very much, people feel entitled that government, somebody should take care of them. That is the psyche. Even if they have the money, they won't go to pay. Even if they can pay, they will not, because that's the society. Somebody should give me money free. So that's the kind of education, that's the kind of tutelage. And we carry the same thing in our to suffer when I can get a free government position, start a business. So that's why you look, most of our businesses, at least recently, the one that I've come to meet, the most successful that we have here, most of them are not people who went to school. Majority of them are just hustlers who had to fight for themselves. They are PhD people on everything. Our MBA people, our engineers, they are all, they work for this organization, they work for this organization, they work for this. They don't start. So, they are saying they are the big consultant, and they have idea on everything, except what to prove, except being able to from scratch with the school. That one, they can't. They can give you all the analysis, all the data, why it's going to win, why it's going to fail. For them to go and do the work themselves, because that of strength, a lot of courage. So my name is Obeda. School did not prepare us to become entrepreneurs. School prepared us to look for job. And so if you, after completing school, if you didn't get we feel very disappointed. We feel, you know, once you complete the school, we even a job, you still want to go again. Want to go again, and once we go again, still don't get a job, we'll go again. So for us, the work is the school. And that's why a lot of us are waiting for that big ministerial position. That's all. But then the rare work alone also need a very critical, systemic private sector. And many of those people who should lead those industries cannot be people who cannot build systems and structures. No. So if you enter any country where majority of the school people, the people who have been to school, multinational positions, you will see that majority of those business problems in those countries will not be owned by the citizens because they were conditioned to look for job and to wait for government help. So maybe and to apply, maybe we will be able to get a lot of school and will still be proud of starting something with their certificate and not wait for government to give them a job or multinationals to give them job. And where we will also give enough respect to people like that because you need a lot of inventors, you need entrepreneurs from your that a lot of these supply chains around that or slow. You see the who are producing these certain sanitizers and all this, I'm sure majority of them will be people who maybe have gone through a lot of pressure from family and gone through a lot of this disagreement as entrepreneurs, and now they are doing something that the standards can be met, and I'm sure those are people that we will need going forward. So if you have gone to school and you want to start business, you have to know that the school to retrain your mind, educate yourself. Educate yourself and enter that field. And you should know that the country needs a lot of people like that for us to create prosperity. And the world has changed. But a lot of the other people, their world has changed. After this is over, a lot of them would have to live in a new structure. A lot of people will be poor, a lot of people will be broke, a lot of companies will be gone. I don't know if we are there yet. Will be that much struck. But whatever it is, there will be some little bit of shift, and yourself to start the business yourself. You have to do something. So I'm closing and I'm saying that is the kind. So all of us that they told to become engineer, when we were from school engineering, they didn't tell us go and learn how to solve problems and become an engineer. I remember one of agric engineer will not find any job. I said, why? Because the economy is really agric dependent, maybe 60% or 70% is agriculture. So why would an agric engineer? Because much of it in Cutlass is not people building tractors and combine harvesters, building food plants. No. So once the agric engineer finishes, he's waiting for somebody who will be able to build big commercial farms so that he'll become chief engineer there, maintenance. Or somebody will build a Nestle. I'm a plant engineer there or something, or food technologies, something like that. But it was not that the agric engineer will finish turn the fruit from his village into build an industry to turn that fruit into fruit juice, or to turn that cocoa into cocoa powder or cocoa drink or something like that. No, that was never part of it. So when you were going through the school, or you would have to go and work for this kind of industry, this kind of. They did not tell us that. No, when you're going through that, when you finish, go here and start something on your own. No, build a modern day food processing plant. No, they didn't say that. Go and build a big farm. No, they didn't say that because that was not the intention of the kind of school they went through school to come and work, to become lecturers, and that was the prestige. So majority of their mates started been through school, they will not. So why would he be able to tell you that go and build the industry? He didn't have any clue, and I hope they have it. I'm not sure they have it. They still, most of the boys, certificate. They're looking for somebody to give them a job, and for 4 years, if they haven't found a job, they are still hoping that their time will come. No, it doesn't work like that. The world has changed. They're producing not less than 300,000 graduates every year. How many jobs you are creating every year? That is the university. The whole government they are even employing if they could. So how about those of us who will not be able to go to university? A large chunk of them who would also be looking for jobs. Then how about the JSS? Did not even enter at all. So there's a whole for somebody to give them a hand. Look at this something. Are those who thought or who believe that they don't have any success. And that's why they will say that because I didn't go to school, that's why I'm doing this. Even though he has a lot of money more than the other guy with certificate too, but he still because they didn't go to school. He has a big shop at Madagascar, and yet the people with suit and tie will go there and speak good English to them and make them feel like they are not up to standard. And how much is this suit and tie guy paid? I don't know. But this one with a lot of money, such statement, because that's all of us into, they push all of us into this kind of that for you to go to school is the only thing that is needed. And once you go to school, you are the best among them. And when you go to you're ahead of everybody. But I'm sure those who have gone through the same process are now in retirement are still pushing us and to keep going to school. Even though the child has finished school, is at home for 4 years, is not getting any job, they will still tell the next one, go to school. School is very important. That's the only advice that our parents have. Go to school. School is very important. But they don't add the other one. And once you complete the school, you're equipped to go and look for proper information to build something with this school. That's why we expect you to build something, to build our economy, produce jobs, produce a product. That is the essence of school, but not us. Because when you finish, Mama is not waiting for you. Mama is waiting for you to become a big crutch, suit, tie, and they will show you I work for World Vision. That is our pride, and that's why our economy is struggling. That is our African countries struggling. So until we change this thinking, ones owning industries here. The Indians will be the ones owning industries here. The foreigners, they will be the ones owning industries. And it's not only in the African culture. It's in anywhere that the black people are. Generally, maybe other countries have that. But we are the ones at the bottom. And we are the ones to industrialize. We are the ones to produce. We are the ones who should be able to produce the phone, who should be able to produce the fan, who should be able to produce the toilet roll, who should be able to produce the shoe, the shirt, we are the ones to do that. And a lot of these things require in-depth systemic thinking, structural thinking. And if in our country, if you can't read and write, to lead any structure, it's tough if you can't read and write and get proper information. The process where you will fail, where people will That itself makes you a little bit equipped. But once you get that, then you're looking. Why? Because they should have added where we is people who are building our own institutions. Not just looking for government big employment from a multinational. No. You, as an African, as a Nigerian, put in, you can't get what to eat, we know. And you'll be looking for government to support you, we know. But that help may never come. But we still require of you to transition. And for you to do this, you have to do away with waiting for help. Nobody will help you. You have to do away with feeling like you are entitled. Nobody is going to help you. We still need you. The society needs you, but they can't help you. You don't have to be bitter. You just have to make sure that this is an honest duty that I have to do for myself and for my country. So if you are at home, or if they are going to cut you, when you come, look for something that you can start. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you are selling. It doesn't matter whether you start a farm. It doesn't matter whether you're wait and you gather a lot of information. Within 2-3 years, you start to understand what you're doing. This thing will start to make meaning to you. Okay, and then and it's one of the best ways that you will explode wealth without waiting for government to give you a contract. Without waiting, because a lot of our rich people are just product of politics or government contracts. We are looking for the ones who created the wealth themselves without direct government influence. And that will mean that we need people who will be able to create businesses independent of handout from government. And we need a lot of that. At the moment, you see, we have a lot of musicians flashing around, a lot of sports people flashing around. The people that we raise in our country are people who are producing things that are not critically needed. We can't compete with those products. Let's face it, we cannot compete with a lot of things that we hear. You can't compete with China if the people you are just music people or footballers. That's what you're raising. You can't. You will produce the footballers, but now China is calling you. You will not bring you the telephone. What would you do? Will not bring you the clothes. What would you do? Will not bring you all this, the computers. What would you do? Those are our minds to focus, and we need a lot of them to be there so much that some of them should sit in there, and that will call for the people, because you don't wait for the government. A lot of the people if they had jobs and if they could create their own prosperity, most of the people, they politics. That's the fact. A lot of them will not join politics. That's why when they go there, they're looking for money, because it's not a great prosperity for their people. Majority of them, not everyone, but the majority of them. Because to go to school is to just go and look for government help. It's not to start a business, to solve for your country, and that's where we really need help. And so, if you're there's nothing that the Africans more than being able to create, being able to break a lot of things down. The mind, the way we think, the way we've been programmed. Africa's problem majorly is like that. How are we able to? And I said one time that the African, when he's not going to school, he's not. When he goes through school too, he's damaged, he's destroyed. So it's a complex situation. By the time you send an African through all this content, by the time he has his degree, you can use him. Because the school was programmed to make sure confident design. So he will go and look for government to help him. Once he finishes school, he will defend everything about Africa. Just look for it. Any people who have gone through this, they otherwise go looking for UN position. They are looking for this position. They are looking for this position. They forget about their people. They forget about their continent. They forget about this school was so that because that was the intention. The intention was that by the time they finished this, the guys who colonized them, You know, so they are the ones very collected and clean, and they are above. We call them aristocrats, the oligarchs. You know, they are the top of the society. Everybody else is under them. So they are the ones. We are in the traffic. They have to warn everybody must park. They go. You know, because they have gone to school. The bank, they have to cut the line because they are specialized. Give you their card before they give you a job. So if you're not able to break a lot of this, and we say that we are a democratic society and that there's fairness and equity, everybody has a fair chance, then we are deceiving ourselves. Because you in a democratic, you cannot say that you're practicing democracy and then you're waiting for government to create order. I don't understand. Because democracy must go with people taking their own destiny in their own hands, and that will come from the kind of education you have given them. That will come from building institutions that will make sure that your own people create jobs. So you have few people running the government selflessly, and you have a lot of your people in opportunities and products, solving problems. Then you can say that we are building a prosperous nation. You know, but if a lot of your people are believing grace, they will get ministerial position. As a part that people only understand that for me to become a big man, this is the part. This is the only part that I need. You know, but if it's really, really democratic, an open market society, then you have to lift your entrepreneurs. You have to check your education system. You have to make sure that once they go through the education process, because that's how the government becomes prosperous. If your people are not building big businesses, how are they going to, and how is the government going to run? Then you have to go to IMF all the time. You have to go to China all the time, because a lot of your people are not building businesses that can create opportunities. A lot of your people, even if the businesses are not big, if you have building businesses that can provide all these things that we need to China to bring full products. Maybe you go to China to bring the recipe. I don't know. Are being produced by their own citizens, and that will mean that citizens who are equipped with higher education but who still will be able to build businesses without finishing the school and going to look as it's designed at the moment. Because at the moment, when they finish school, it's job. Even if they start something and they get what they call better offer, they will stop the business and go and take that better offer. Because that is what the school put in them. The endurance is not there. Thinking is not there. The selflessness is not there. The patriotism is not there. That competitive edge to say is not there. Because what's the point? If he gets a DC, he can get all that he wants. So what does he have to go through this to become worthy? No. You know, so that is our school. Entrepreneurs, it was designed for us to look for job, look for government job, look for multinational job, and we are very much entitled. We don't do anything, but we want big salary, and we are very successful. If you have the free car, free house, you can show our card to somebody. General talk, you know. Another thing is journalism. Produce a lot of people who are on TV talking. When it comes to critical areas, that because an economy must be able to produce. It's not an economy when you can produce the basic things that you need. You can produce your own food, you can produce your own water, you can produce your own slippers and all this. It's not an economy. It's not an economy, it's something else. And that's why the world is in trouble now. Because a lot of us were just waiting for China to produce. Now there's problem, you see. So that we should not leave that to only the people we think didn't go at farms. We should not people to go to school. We should not thinking that if I've been to school, then I don't need to start a business. That should be something that we should scrap from school. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I can start a business and build it. You know, that pride we need in a lot of our people's mind. Once I complete school, I'm proud to start a. So I don't complete school to join the Employee Graduate Association. Or Nanado to give me, what is the name of those group? They employ 100,000 NAPCO or something. No. start and do to contribute to society. Start it. Because that's how you re-educate yourself from that which the school told you. Starting a business is the best way to educate yourself against what the school told you. Because the school has the salary, so you're always talking about salary increment, even though you know why you're not working. You don't even show up, but you're very much because that's what the school put in. And you don't believe that you can do anything. You're afraid. You can't see yourself without money. You don't want to get angry. That's what I told you. That's why you see the people who are very good in school, first people. They are not able to have their mistake. It's a direct path. That's why when you finish, you want somebody else to, a direct, very much comfortable. That's cool. Much comfortable. So you don't have any trouble. And the school will not also tell you the basic things of business, finance. School will not tell you that. School will not tell you how to sell. School will not tell you, because it was designed to sell. Why would you need information on money? Because you're just waiting for salary. So what do you need that information for? That's how they design the school. Just a factory hand, or you're just a manager in something. You don't need to know. You just have to just go and work and get salary and buy a nice car and be very happy and run abroad and say that you're successful until you go on retirement and you see that you're not that successful. So our school was not designed to make us start businesses. So if you complete school and you want to start business, you're going to struggle. And the first struggle you're going to struggle is the mental struggle, the inner struggle. There's a lot of opposing thoughts. So you see graduate who is selling chocolate, he thinks that the other time where they said that, he's a graduate but he's selling pork or something. Somebody lost his job and he was selling pork. So the guy was a manager, so the manager is better than the guy who's selling pork kebab? No, I don't think so. Because that's where you put your creativity. That's where your challenge. That's where you're able to build something from nothing. So I don't think that the guy who was selling something on the street. That's what they can say. He quit his managerial something to go and start. It's better than starting a farm. Our people, it's the school, it's a program. You go and start something and let your lecturer come and see you. It will make you feel like you're a failure. Milk and sugar. If your lecturer believes that you were one of, you would want to shut that thing down and go and look for a job. They'll even tell you, why? We have some scholarship here. Come and do it so that you can do your PhD, and become. And it's the British who put that in the school. Because when they came, they had their own. They were rich and they had not gone to the British education before they allowed it. So they educate you, we will lose you. And of course, they were not wrong. They were not wrong. Yeah, and now we are very confused. We're very confused. We can't stand up on our own. We can't build our own children. We educate them and they want to travel to America. We educate them and they want to go to England because of the content. They lose who they are. They lose their identity. They can't stand anything. They have to speak very. They have to wear. They have to know, and they know nothing about us. That is the education they gave us. For you to start something that is squarely opposite what they've been giving us in all this kind of education. So, something that education. Education. We've been educated, but we lost. Yes, and they lost us. And then they added the other things that So to start a business, you really need to educate yourself. Getting that out of that degree is to read well, to understand, to assess information. The rest, to build something for yourself, you would have to go the extra mile. A lot of our rich people, you can see it, to become rich. That is, somebody was saying that who doesn't take from the because they don't know what to do to create wealth. They have from the poor, so they have to collect all the offering. They have to steal from the government because it was not in the school. They didn't teach us how to create wealth. No, how to create wealth in a free market. You need business people. You need entrepreneurs who build, who innovate, who look down and start another one, who will be able to employ people, who will be able to build technologies, who will be able to build industries. Guys that in a fair economy are rewarded because then they create value. You are not just collecting from the poor. No, you don't just collect from the poor. You're not collecting from the poor. For somebody to buy, you added value. If I produce telephone and somebody's they are using it, it benefits them. That's why they pay me. That is different from just collecting money from people and you say that they're poor. So that's kind of a that we have, and that's why we are not able to create a lot of wealth. Because we have a lot of misunderstanding on the things on what to do to develop. So I'm saying that the school, by the time you finish, you will only because of how they design it. It's not only here, all over. School, the average British is very, 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 very house with £15,000. He won't trouble until he strikes him. But the people who manage the system, the people who are really in charge of the system, go and look at the courses that their children study. Go and look at the school that they go. Go and look at the education that they have given them on money and how to create wealth. And see, when everybody else is looking for degrees, at the very rich, those who have been rich for centuries, from slavery to whatever, go and look for their children. They're the ones keeping the empire. Everybody else is looking for money. They talk, how much here? $150,000. How much do you pay in tax? Once they stop people from working for them for free, they had to find another way. They had to find another way to make the people work for them. This time around, you're not called a slave, but you work for them. You work for them. So you have to trade your time to get money. You have to trade your time to get money. So there's a lot that they have put out there that they are controlling the people and the people don't know. So there's a lot of frustration. People have a lot of things in their heart, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to enjoy it. They lack the skills because in the school to give them skills, and the school was not designed to make your dream come true. Never. So that you just get back and they continue to control everything. Thank you very much. So the school in Africa is just a replica of to work for our government, multinational, wear suit and tie, and foreign in charge of our gold, our diamond, our oil, because where are the people ill-equipped? It doesn't take only government to build an economy. Systemic, structured business sector of any economy, of any free market economy. It takes these two. In our country, it rather takes the government, chiefs. It journalists and professors. Those are the people building the economy and government contractors. Government contractors. Those are the ones building the economy. No wonder we are where we are. But once we start to get in line, understanding the system, there will be a generation that will say that no, we have to create a wealth ourselves. We don't have to steal to the poor to become rich, like somebody said. We don't have to take bribe as government officials to become rich. Then we will create a generation with a skill, with the knowledge, with information, and create value for the economy and for the people. This is the kind of education going forward. And I think that if you start to read, if you start to search, you find them. At least you've been able to break the thinking that the school is not enough business, and the school was not designed for me to build a business in the first place. And so for me to build business, there's need to learn. So thank you.